The little poets sing of little things: hope, cheer, and faith. Small queens and puppet kings, lovers who kissed and then were made as one, and modest flowers waving in the sun. The mighty poets write in blood and tears, an agony that flame-like bites and sears. They reach their mad, blind hands into the night to plumb abysses dead to human sight, to drag from gulfs where lunacy lies curled, mad, monstrous nightmare shapes to blast the world. Robert E. Howard. Welcome, everyone, to Public Access, a horror game set in 2004 in the fictional small town of Deep Lake, New Mexico, with our players investigating the missing public access TV station, TV Odyssey, as well as other weirdness in the area. As a content warning, this game contains cosmic horror, graphic violence, ritual sacrifice, sexual desire, childhood trauma, and consumer culture. And our current active mysteries also add satanic panic, religious analogs, stalkers, and cryptids. So viewer discretion is advised. That all out of the way, my wonderful players, my lovely latchkeys, would you kindly introduce yourselves and your characters?
Hi everybody, I'm Ben Ravensdale. I'll be playing Declan. Declan is a night security guard who has just had it up to here with everybody's shit.
I mean, fair. Hello, I'm Rachel. I play Isabeau. We are both she, her. I am a lawyer on sabbatical who has been contributing to this shit that Declan has had to deal with.
I'm Steph. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm playing Kato. She's gonna explode, I think. Just kind of in general.
And I am your keeper, Aaron. My pronouns are she, they, Faye. Yeah, I'm pretty much known as Great Cthulhu all over the place. Or Aaron. I use my real name and not too, because I don't give a fuck. Uh, so, Ben, would you be so kind as to read the recap for the session that you weren't here for? So it'll be new to you as well.
Oh yeah, that's probably a good idea. Where is that?
Should just be up a little bit in public access
I
channel.
will grab the link for
For
you.
1019, correct?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
that would be the one.
I'd just like to say I have a little bit of a cold.
Do you want someone else to read it for you? Save
No,
your
I got it.
voice?
But
Okay.
if my dulcet tones are not quite as seductive as they usually are, that's why.
Okay.
A new day dawns in Deep Lake. Isabeau mentions that she's going to the arcade. Lottie volunteers to tag along. Kato suggests they take Abigail and Elliot, and Isabeau seems open to the idea of bringing them. But there's a line out the door when they arrive. An elderly man hands out numbers to people in line, and Isabeau changes $10 out and tells the kids to go enjoy themselves. They've had their fill of cursed games and are happy to take the money and occupy themselves with Pac-Man and Mortal Kombat. Lottie makes small talk with the elderly man, Ephraim. He mentions something about the nasty business 20 years ago, the kids who went missing after playing, the whole urban legend. She tries sweet-talking him to cut in the long line of people waiting for their turn. Meanwhile, Isabeau takes up a position near the Zagreus cabinet, idly playing pinball while observing the people playing the magic game. Cut to Kato, who decides to call the number on the flyer for Serpents and Sepulchres. The wispy voice on the other side, and on the other end, says they think that they played once. They were a wizard. Not that they played one, they were one. But they are one. Is Kato going to take their place? Kato doesn't know what any of it means, but the man offers to lead her to the Desert Cylinder. Kato thinks this sounds great and invites Cassie to come along. Cassie is wary at first, but one terrible dice roll later, they're both rolling into the great unknown in the New Mexican desert. Back to the arcade, Isabeau's eyes drift to the cabinet's side, where she notices some claw marks reaching out from the wall side of the cabinet. She was so occupied looking at it that she accidentally tilts her machine. Isabeau does some percussive maintenance, which causes a familiar purple clamshell bearing the title Fireside 01 to drop to the floor. Isabeau sighs resignedly and tucks the clamshell into her purse. Lottie, chatting with Ephraim, spots a woman in a red jacket, who clearly wants to speak with Lottie. When she wraps up the conversation, Lottie wanders over to the strange woman, who greets Licky Lotto 69, but swears she's not a weirdo. She's just looking for her brother. In this conversation, Lottie notices something. A car, windows slowly rolling down, the barrel of a gun emerging. Lottie yells, "Get down!" just as bullets fly, luckily missing most of the patrons. Lottie takes an unlucky shot to her knee, or not. Isabeau Beatrice Saunders panics and hides behind a video game cabinet, the one which still has her high score from when she was a teen. Lottie dives into the utility tunnels beneath Deep Lake. These aren't connected to any major utilities. They're just here. Graffiti decorates the wall. I is bet. I'm going to need more clarification on that because that did not make sense to me. Kato drives straight into the desert, her bike driving almost with a mind of its own. She encounters a figure who assures her this is a new beginning for him. He's never been a fan of wizards, he says, when Kato says wizards took over her bike. Then, part of the man's skin sloughs off. There's writing on it about a place called Silo Deeps. Kato gently picks it up and tries to return it, but the man says it's for her. Don't say he never got her anything nice. And he gives her a warning. This place is dangerous. Well, if it's that dangerous, Kato asks if the big man can take her girlfriend back into town. That's the first time Kato has said girlfriend. And Cassie says in that case, they're both going back to town, because they need to have a talk. Declan disapproves of all this relationship bullshit. Fast forward after a fairly traumatic shooting. Isabeau is taking a cue from Declan and filling a bowl with ice cream and breakfast cereal. Yes! Then topping it off with a generous pour of bourbon. Oh! And making Lottie her own drink. Then watching the Odyssey tape she found in the arcade. The tape was supposed to be recorded in the 70s, but based on the aesthetics, it seems to have been recorded much earlier. The main character, Phineas, uses archaic language when speaking. Meanwhile, Kato holds Cassie's hand awkwardly. She doesn't know where to begin. Neither woman does. Cassie finally breaks the silence, bringing up that Kato called her girlfriend. Kato apologizes, saying she meant to ask, but just never found the right moment among the weirdness. After an awkward moment with Isabeau and Lottie, they end up sharing a smoke on the patio. On the patio, Cassie asks for a promise from Kato not to die in the desert. So if they're going to do this, Kato needs to stop throwing herself into danger. That's something that Kato can do. The narrator would like to interject here and say that that was not something, in point of fact, that Kato could do.
I think she said as much. She's like, well, I'll try, but things are kind of trying to kill us.
Yeah. In the kitchen, Isabeau checks in with Lottie after their harrowing time. Lottie's been through worse, but is pretty sure the car was targeting her. Isabeau offers to use her professional skills to help Lottie get a restraining order, or at least figure out who is after her. When Kato finds out, she's even more upset. She's nowhere near comfortable staying here, much less having the kids here, when someone is after Lottie. Cassie drags Kato away while Isabeau focuses on securing the windows against outside witnesses. Cassie demands to know what's up with the tapes and everything else that's been going on. Kato bursts into tears, inspiring Cassie to swear she won't let anything bad happen to Kato. They have an intense, emotional moment, swearing to never forget each other. Elsewhere, Bianca stands outside Blackrock Cave, yelling at her agent on the phone. What does anyone mean there's no gig there? From the rocks, Samira emerges, skin shimmering and holding a velvet box. Samira. The two women confront each other. Iker floods out of the velvet box into Bianca, who begins rippling the same way Samira does. Wings emerge from Bianca as she flies over Rodenbecker Street, scouting. Quick refresher, who the hell is Samira?
She is one of the girls from the Black Rock tape that you watched, the Ghost Gals tape. She was going to be the third Great Hunger, but it is, because of Steph's narration during the Odyssey tape, it is now Bianca, Kato's ex-girlfriend.
What is a Great Hunger? Or
That is
should
an
we,
excellent
as
question.
players,
Bad.
not know that yet?
They're
bad.
Generally speaking, because I don't want to give too much away, they are wearing the faces. They are something awful from deep in the earth that is wearing the faces of things from the Odyssey tapes. Or in this case, one of them is wearing Bianca's face now. As to what they really are, that will all be unveiled in the TV Odyssey mystery when that is unlocked. So players should not the players like you can have meta knowledge. I know Steph's aware of what they kind of are just from having played other games. But in terms of characters, you have no clue what that is, and you don't even know they're out there yet. You will soon, though.
So
Was I
noted.
was I not present for the tape where Samira showed up? Because
You
it's not ringing a bell. Which tape was it?
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Called Ghost Gals 3 Black Rock Pure White Labyrinth.
Yeah, no, it looks like you weren't. There's only three. There's only 3 responses on the paint the scene question.
Okay, so it must have been when you were on your lovely birthday trip. I think is when they watched it, probably.
I think so, actually. That's ringing a bell.
Okay, so thank you, Ben, for reading that, and thank you, Rachel, for the wonderful notes as always. Oh, you said you needed clarification on something else, Ben. What was the other thing? Something about graffiti? Okay.
Oh yeah, the tunnels.
Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, I will not worry about it then. Silently, she worries about it. Just kidding. All right. So, few things. Declan needs to pick a reward from Dog Told Me To. We did that last week, so you will need to. Your options are Benjamin Castle's homemade paper mache Officer Barker mask. Add it to your corner of the house. The Officer Barker Anti-Crime Pop EP, Rough Stuff, on a format of your choosing. Add it to your corner of the house. This has a paint the scene prompt. Name one of the songs on the album. And finally, as per usual, if none of those are to your fancy, a memento from the investigation, ask an latchkey what it is, and add it to your corner of the house.
I'm so sorry. I don't do well when I'm trying to make a decision and things are being narrated to me. I can't see the Dog Told Me To, though, because it's like collapsed. Thank you. I don't know how to expand that. I tried clicking it various different ways. Thank you. Let's see here real quick. Rewards, go. I think I have to go. I have to go with the EP.
Okay.
I think it's just too funny.
All right then. Let's. Do you want? All right. I'll put it. It is your item. I'll put it to you. Do you want us to paint the scene now or when you mark it?
Let's do it when I mark it.
Sounds good.
Because I already know one of the songs.
This happened in another game I'm in, so the songs are awful every time. They're just absolutely terribly cursed.
Has anyone proposed Woofer Madness yet?
Okay, let's go ahead and add that one on there because that's too good.
All right.
Woofer Madness, it's a song about reefer madness that somehow manages to only sing about weed and being stoned through implication.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Okay. So, in our lovely dawn phase, I think, yes, we are in dawn. I always finish a whole night day phase, so. Let's do XP first, and then Declan owes us some key prompts. I tagged you in them earlier. I hope you saw.
I did.
Excellent. All right, so let us start with Kato. Did the Latchkeys Resolve Mystery? You did not last week. Declan, you will get the XP for that though, because you did not have the dawn phase previous week. So, did you receive a signal from the other side? That's a big yes.
Yeah, you gave it directly to me. Thanks.
And did you deliver a chili? Yes, you told Cassie about your awful key turn with the flying thing. Did you go out of your way to reconnect with Deep Lake?
Yes, it was going into the desert with Cassie.
Excellent. Okay. Go ahead, take it. I think that's an advance for you as well, and I think I know what you're taking.
Yeah.
No Lottie tonight. We wish them well.
I can go over
Isabeau.
the advancement that I take after everything's.
Sounds good. Yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll have Declan do keys. So Isabeau, latchkey solve mystery. No, not for you. Did you receive a signal from the other side?
I don't believe so.
Check the prompts. You had. Oh, 100% you did, because Phineas and Isabeau look like they're related.
Right. Okay.
100% you did. So yeah, mark the XP for that. Were you vulnerable with someone?
I don't think so.
Okay. Did you share a good memory from your childhood?
No.
Um, Declan, did latchkeys resolve mystery? That is a big yes for you.
Okay.
His dog told me to. We did not watch a tape that session, so you did not receive a signal from the other side. Did you share a good memory from your childhood?
I remember marking it off because I did. I don't remember specifically what it was, but yes.
Okay. I'm sure you did. But I definitely, the next one I know you definitely did. Did you deliver a chilling monologue about something that happened to you in the past?
Yes, I did. I did. Oh, that one I do remember, because yeah, that was we were hiding in the closet, and I was like, yeah, my dad walked in and me making out with the one girlfriend I had once.
Which
Yeah.
inspired Isabeau to proposition him.
Yes.
It did.
Very
Yes,
bold move there.
Yeah, I was rewatching the VOD and I just see Steph's comment pop up in chat. That's not the trauma key turn. All right, excellent. I think that's advances for both Kato and Declan.
I'm gonna choose a new move. I don't know what yet, but I'll choose a new move.
Okay. Remember, you can't overlap with others. So let's see. If they think he's a righteous student, just say no are taken as it. Well, and the truth is out there, of course. Speaking of, Steph, do you have a clue in mind, or am I delivering one to you?
I have an idea that kind of goes with the custom move that I unlocked.
All right, wonderful. I'll leave you to it then. Tell me if you want to live. Lottie has, as well as robots in disguise. And then strange things are afoot at the Circle K for Isabeau, and then you know your own move. So anything else is valid. Speaking of custom moves, Steph, would you like to share with everyone your wonderful custom move you've written?
Yeah. So I was thinking about it last week about like just the whole character arc that's been going on and how freaked out Kato is about not even necessarily dying, but just forgetting and being forgotten. So thank you, Sophia. I appreciate your interjection. Her custom move is called Forget Me Not. After witnessing the effects the chromatic desert can have on people, you've become obsessed with ensuring someone important to you won't forget about you. Name them, and if they are a side character, ask the keeper what takes them back. It's Cassie. What takes Cassie back?
Ooh, I'm gonna look at the takes me back list real quick.
Hell yeah. Anyhow, when you trigger the nostalgic move with this character, any clue that you detail as a result of the move can only be used to answer the following question. How can I ensure name won't forget me? Complexity 2. On a hit on answer a question, the named character won't forget you. On a 7 to 9, you also immediately mark the chromatic desert. On a miss, the named character immediately forgets you as if you had marked the chromatic desert.
Wonderful. Okay, so we're gonna do, just because she's had a fucked up childhood, let's make him sad. I'm gonna do all three as if she were a latchkey already. So we're gonna do Who Killed Laura Palmer, Artax and the Swamp of Sorrows, or Swamp of Sadness.
Oh God.
And actually, this one just makes sense because of Kato and her connection. Record stores. We'll give her one normal one. Hey. Did you, Ben, did you decide what you're taking, or are you still thinking about it?
No, I'm gonna go with what Nintendo don't.
Oh.
Once per
That's a great
session, you
one.
can take a 12 plus on a single roll related to an action, so long as you do it with cockiness or style.
Wonderful.
Nice.
All right. So, and then sticking on you, are you ready to do your two key prompts?
I am. I wrote these down at the end of the last session I played, where these key prompts came up, so that I wouldn't forget them because I had ideas.
All right. Just tell us which one you're doing first, and then go ahead.
Okay. So the first one is what happened when I first discovered TV Odyssey, I believe is the flashback to when you first discovered TV Odyssey. So Declan babysat his siblings a lot as a kid, and one night he was still fairly young. I mean, if we're thinking about it, probably too young to be babysitting three younger siblings. Well, in reality, it was four, but as far as Declan can remember, it's three because yeah. But anyways, and he's probably like 11 at the time, and so all of his siblings were asleep, like on the floor, on the couch. Declan was kind of sitting up late, waiting for his parents to get home, and he was kind of just idly flipping through channels, the way you do the way you did back in the day before streaming services and YouTube and whatnot were a thing, where you would just you wouldn't even fully register what was on the TV before just clicking the channel up button, because you didn't know what you were looking for, but you knew it wasn't whatever just popped up. You've kind of memorized the channels, the sequence, like what's going to be coming up next. And so, you kind of just, it's almost like scrolling through Facebook where you're not really reading posts, you're just kind of scrolling and not even really absorbing information. And so he was doing that. He was getting up towards the upper range of channels, clicking the button, when instead of going from 99 to 01, it went to 99 to stars to like basically like little asterisks to like little slash marks to little dashes, and then he finally clued in that something weird was going on, and he tried to hit the button again, but the remote died at that moment. And through the static on the screen, slowly started to sort of like settle into coherent shapes and images, and instead of the staticky hiss coming through the speakers, it was dialogue. It was people talking and sound effects and everything like that, and it slowly kind of coalesced into his first TV Odyssey, which I imagine was probably a Happy Jack episode. And that's kind of how he discovered it. He was able to kind of find it again whenever he was up late and everybody else was asleep, and he was just feeling kind of bored with whatever was normally on TV. He'd just be cruising the channels and it would pop up from then on. So that's that one.
Excellent.
Nothing super dramatic, but definitely weird.
I know what the second one is, so here we go.
This is a flashback to when you experienced childhood trauma. Now I've dropped a lot of this for Declan already, and this one's gonna be different from anything that's come up before. When Declan was probably about 14, his younger brother, Kevin, so the next oldest, he was still a few years younger than Declan, so, significant difference in age there. But there was one time he was babysitting, and he was outside. Declan wanted to play some baseball and everything, so Declan was like, all right, it's something that all of us can do at the same time. And through a random happenstance sequence of events, the baseball ended up getting basically like line drive right into Kevin's forehead. Splits his forehead open. He's gushing blood. He's freaking out. That, in and of itself, you know, not great, but Declan can handle that. Fine, whatever. Calls his parents. Parents come home. Declan goes with Kevin and his parents to the hospital, and the doctor realizes, hey, we're going to need to do stitches on this. Declan, this being the 80s, gets picked to be the one who has to hold his screaming, thrashing, several years younger brother, his head still, while the doctor is going through and putting in the sutures. If you've ever seen this process done, usually there's like a little swaddling device that they put kids into. It's probably a little bit small on his brother, but it's the closest thing they've got. So, he does that, and then Declan basically has to sit there and hold his brother's head still. And again, if you've ever seen this kind of thing happen, kids are strong as buck when they are freaked out. I have personally done this myself, and it's a traumatizing, exhausting experience to sit there and have your face right next to their face while they are screaming bloody murder, and a doctor is trying to stitch their forehead up. And so when he walked away from it, Declan's hands were, covered in his brother's blood, and his ears were ringing. He's exhausted, and of course his parents are doing a lot to comfort Kevin and basically just telling Declan to go wash your hands and meet us in the car. So, different kind of trauma, but a trauma nonetheless.
Hell yeah. All right. Hell yeah feels weird to say after that, but hell yeah for that awesome narration. All right. So I think that is all of our dawn phase. Let's move into the day phase. We are at 3 mysteries, so we are good to go. Let me see here. How are we doing?
Casher redeemed a drink. Drink.
Oh.
Thank you.
Right. Yes, thirst is part of talking a lot. All right. So you have
thirst
5
is
clues.
also a part of this game.
Part of my daily life.
Here we go again. All right. So let us take stock of our clues and mysteries. We have greetings travelers currently active with 5 clues. That you could technically try to answer the first question. Where are these flyers? Actually, both of them you could try to answer at a big old minus for the second question. So I'm going to bet you're not. Zagreus, you have 3 clues. So you could do how do you unlock Zagreus' secret levels at a +1. I don't think anyone's touched the game yet, so maybe not narratively, or if you answer it, I think part of answering it would be playing said game. At least that's how I'd like to rule it. You can also do the Attafoy, who is Attafoy 85 and why are they doing this, which in this case is trying to murder Lottie for getting involved with Zagreus. You could do that at a -1 also. I don't think that there is only 1 clue from On Strange Wings, so
I don't even know that one. Okay, I got to read up on that.
I will drop the mystery in chat for you.
I'm actually reading it in the journal thingy.
Did I not say the questions for On Strange Wings? I might not have. All right. So just because I might have forgotten last week. Oh, thank you, Cashier. I got it done Saturday. I'm very happy with it. It is holding the color very well, and it matches my lipstick. So thank you. Anyways, so questions and opportunities for On Strange Wings. What are the Deep Lake Devils, and are they terrestrial, or are they from another planet or dimension? That is complexity 4, and the opportunity is it unlocks the next appropriate question. And then the key of adrenaline is the mystery key. I think I already went over this, but I'll go over it again. Each latch key narrates a flashback to when they took a big risk or beat the odds at the expense of someone unexpected. All right. So that is all good. I guess I pose the same question I do every week. What are the latchkeys up to for the day phase? What would you like to do? let me check. I think we're pretty good on conditions. I think I've been nice. I shouldn't be so nice. Yeah, it looks like. Well,
I don't know
yeah.
about nice. You were using other reactions.
Listen, that's fair.
Declan has 0 conditions, so Declan is good.
Let's got 2, and then Lonnie and Kato have 1, but that's not. It's an easily resolved condition. Okay.
So, Isabeau is still intrigued by Zagreus, but I think does not want to go back to the place where she was shot at.
So I will say Isabeau does know that drive was not a accidental drive-by. It was targeted on Lottie, who we will say has agreed to lay low at a hotel for tonight's session, given that there are children in the house on Becker Street.
Yeah, well, so, Isabeau instead will pursue Greetings, Travelers.
Okay.
I think that an arcade seems like the least deadly out of all of these options. So probably that one, even given what had happened. Like,
Yeah.
that still seems the least.
That's fair. Yep. And what would Declan like to get up to?
I mean, the D&D nerd in me wants to say greetings, travelers, but the video game nerd in me wants to say Zagreus, and then I feel like the cryptid lover in me wants to say on strange wings. So I'm actually, this is a tough one. I'll go with greetings, travelers. It's the one we've had kicking around the longest. Yeah, we'll go with that one. I'm gonna basically, if Isabeau is open to having someone tag along, Declan's gonna tag along on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Saz comment in chat. So yeah, it makes sense. All right. So, how are Isabeau and Declan planning to locate the Greetings Traveler? And this also to Kato. Did Kato tell the others what happened with the number?
With the one more time, what is the number?
The phone number that you called.
Oh yeah, the number.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, I think so. I think it probably would have come up. She's not very. The name implies that she might be coy about things. the name is wrong.
What name?
Kato, as in catty. She is not catty at all.
He's a scrungler, though. Certified scrungler.
This is just cat with an O at the end.
Gotcha.
So, to catch Ben up a little bit, there's a number on the Greetings Traveler poster, as you can see.
Yeah.
Kato called it. Something answered, and was luring her out to the desert. So that's as far as anyone's investigated Greetings Travelers so far, I think. Besides, I think the first clue was Isabeau getting a flyer on a nostalgic scene with Declan, I think. So yeah, I suppose my question to you that too is how you like to go about investigating this, like, brain work good.
Well, I mean, it seems to me as if we should probably check out the coordinates from the flyer, right?
That seems like a good starting point.
It's out in the desert as well, so it kind of, you know, yeah. Let's do it.
Hey. Let's go ahead and start with those two then, shall we? The ordnance take you off-road once you kind of get out of side town limits. You're almost immediately have to veer off and do a little off-roading to get to where the coordinates are.
Oh, I suppose not happy about that.
Well, we can take my truck.
If we know ahead of time that we are off-roading,
if you Google Maps it, it's gonna be pretty obvious. It's not. It's like not super deep in the desert, but it is in the desert.
It's 2004. I think we map quested. Thank you.
We do map quest.
My van.
Or do some triangulation with a Thomas guide.
Anyways.
But yeah, if there's a hint of off-roading, Isabeau prefers to preserve her car's suspension, and so we can absolutely take Declan's truck.
All right. Declan is in charge of driving this time. Seatbelts. Make sure everything is on the up and up before we start moving.
What kind of person do you think I am? Of course I wear my seatbelt.
Alright, so yeah, you get to the point where you need to veer off. Weirdly enough, you notice some motorcycle tracks here. It doesn't take you much to put together that you are headed on the same route Kato and Cassie were the other day when they ran into a rotting big man, in this case.
Did they tell us about the big man encounter?
Kato, did you?
Yeah, I mean, especially because it resulted in a clue for the thing.
Casher redeemed a drink.
She did not, by the way, keep that piece of skin. It is somewhere in, like, the dirt, and there's a Polaroid picture of it now.
That's fair. That is fair. It was gross. Alright, so you will see as you drive past the same arch that Kato told you about. No big man appears this time. Unless you'd like him to, then I'll make you make a roll. But in this case, you go maybe half a mile before you see a metal silo.
Okay.
So, it is very obviously a decommissioned missile silo that you are looking at.
Well, that's weird. Should we have a Geiger counter?
Probably. Too late now. Declan's gonna get out of the truck and. Actually, hold on a second. So, I still have my toolbox from the very beginning of the game that is unmarked.
Okay.
Can I say that there's a Geiger counter in that?
Sure, why the fuck not?
Alright. In that case, Declan will go in the back of the truck, he'll open up the toolbox and rummage around for a minute, and then pull out the Geiger counter, click it on, make sure it's working. He's gonna wave it at Isabeau specifically.
I don't know if I should feel insulted.
Like, well, I figured, you were in the same place I was, and then I'm gonna point it at myself.
Besides the whatever, I forget the background radiation reading is, but whatever that is.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll offer it to Isabeau.
You seem like you know how to use it more than I do.
He kind of clicks it on, clicks it off again. All right.
You approach the missile silo.
Is it like it's a tall silo, right? It's not one that's like built into the ground exclusively. It's like
It's like part. It's so it a meta speaking. This is a decommissioned nuclear missile silo, so it's mostly below ground.
Oh
okay.
shit.
But there is some.
There
still,
is
like,
there is a little
protruding
bit
above
of
that. Okay.
something, yeah, above that allows you to descend. Um,
Is there a door that that lets us go in?
there is.
Oh. Open the door. Assuming it opens without any problems.
So when you get to the door, you immediately notice there is a tight, recent padlock, with like chains. Sorry, padlock and chains. This is like you can probably date the silo to, we'll say like 50s. These chains are newer.
Hmm. Let me see if we got bolt cutters. We go back to the toolbox and see if there's bolt cutters.
All right, let's call this the meddling move.
Okay.
This sound, vitality or reason, I would say.
Okay. Oh wait, what is my reason? What? Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. Do I want to mark the toolbox in order to get advantage? It doesn't seem like it's that important. I'm not going to bother. None. Reason. Boom. 7.
Okay. Okay, so I think the complication here, I'm going to give you a clue, still, obviously, but the complication is going to be that whoever put these, like, your cutting of these chains is going to let whoever put them here know that you have entered this space, that someone has entered this space.
All right.
Okay. So, I think your clue. I'm going to think about your clue, actually. Let's cut over Tato at the arcade.
Okay.
Is the line still horrendously long?
Weirdly enough, after a drive-by, it has gone down quite significantly.
I thought it might have. I had thought something along those lines might have happened. Yeah. She's gonna go ahead and walk up to FG and like, hey, can I get some quarters for Zagreus?
Oh, sure, young lady. Here you go. He doles out whatever monetary value you give him, and then he slips a few extra in.
Maybe
He's
like $5.
Yeah, he's like, he slips a few extra and like, here you go, have fun, kids.
Plural?
Oh, he didn't bring Cassie with her. I'm so used to her coming with.
I mean, I figured she might deserve like a day off.
Yeah, yes, fine, just you.
I mean, she's probably
kid.
back at the house watching the actual children.
Yeah. Also,
There,
could be that too.
yeah.
But yeah. All right. Thanks. No one's been like eaten by the machine or anything, right?
Those are just urban legends, hon.
All right. Well, wish me luck, I suppose. And she's gonna go and try and play some Zagreus.
All right, I think we're gonna call this the meddling move.
Excelente.
Composure or reason, I will say.
Probably composure.
Oh, you just have I dream deep, like you're fine.
Cool. Whoa!
Oh shit! Well done.
Wow. Okay.
Boxcars.
God damn. Let's go. All right.
Cake time.
So, you play it. I mean, it Zagreus plays like brain do things. Um, like a top-down adventure game. You're killing stuff as you try to escape from the underworld. Um, However, while you're playing it, let's see. Oh, I like this. So while you pick up a piece of a note, which is odd in a game that focuses pretty much exclusively on killing things. It's a piece of lore inside Zagreus. Weird in these style of games. And it describes the three types of restless dead in Greek mythology: the Adaphoi, unburied dead; the Auroi, the premature dead; and the Biathano. Forgive me, I do not speak Greek.
Posted it in the
Biath,
Discord?
yeah, happily. There you go.
Atafoy, Elroy. Oh, that is okay.
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare word.
Biothanatoi.
Which are violent deaths. And for your 12 plus.
Cheapio, my Thanatel toy. I don't know, is that anything?
I think including that will be right, like on top. So like the note that tells you that is on top of a tablet, and on that tablet, this is weird. This lore does not fit into Zagreus. Approximately 690,000 BP. The great render of flesh, pleased with the wanderers for making copious sacrifices of blood and bone before his impossible altar, gifts them with a titanic pillar made of screaming skin, infused with ancient magics, a weapon they can use to destroy the fire cults once and for all.
Huh. I think I beat the game already. It was short. Like, I don't know. It's kind of just stuck on this screen now. Is this supposed to be like this?
FG walks over and takes a look at it. It's like, huh, maybe those rumors about secret levels are true? He like futzes with it a little bit.
Huh.
If you want to answer said press start question now, feel free.
I do. I think it's pretty simple. I actually think I want to, if it's all right with the rest of the players at the table, I think I would love to roll this at just a -1 and say that it's literally you have to use the Barker tokens.
Okay.
There are specific tokens that show up for some reason, somewhere, somehow. When you plug it in there, you get secret levels.
Okay. Is everyone good with that?
Sure.
All right. Go ahead and roll answer question at -1.
Oh God! Don't
Uno.
you? Oh no, because you're rolling at -1.
So, you insert
The dice giveth, the dice taketh away.
I will be reacting unless all of the latchkeys would like to turn a key. Keep in mind the key of Zagreus, or sorry, it's not the key of Zagreus. The key of the palace is available from Zagreus. That was specifically directing that towards the person with two keys left.
I'm down to do that because I would like to do secret levels and see Well, at least unlock one, because I don't know about play them, because they're fucking bad for you.
They're great. What are you talking about? They're wonderful.
No,
Uh,
they're great for me. Bad for
yes,
Kato.
yes. Uh, Declan and Isaba, would you like to turn a key to upgrade this to a mixed hit?
I'm also fine otherwise. I think it could be funny if something bad happens from the Barker coins.
I will leave it up to you, Steph. What? Because this is your scene. Because I'm happy to turn a key, but if you'd prefer to play forward.
I'm just gonna say right now, I will not be turning a key.
Yeah.
Okay, that cinches
Okay,
it
then.
then. We will be taking the miss then.
Yeah.
So I have not had a chance to use this keeper reaction yet. I've been waiting. So this is called found footage is the reaction.
Yes! Fuck yeah!
So I need let's have Ben do this. I need you to narrate one of the Great Hungers watching Kato in this moment.
One of the ones we already know.
Happy Jack, Tamara, from the one that was from the drowned girl in the awful pool, and Bianca. I think that I mean, which is Kato's ex-girlfriend.
I'm actually gonna go with Happy Jack.
And I take found footage as a condition, correct?
I think so. Let me double check. It's been a minute since I actually read it.
So there's it's an extremely rare pinball machine to find. It's one you really only see kind of, in rundown old arcades and things like that. But there happens to be one here, and it is a Happy Jack pinball machine. It's out of order. That's like always out of order whenever you go in. But it's one of those machines that for whatever reason they just never get rid of. And as Kato is kind of playing the game and talking to the arcade owner about like it being stuck on the screen and everything like that, the Happy Jack pinball machine, the lights kind of flicker, and Happy Jack, the little animatronic Happy Jack, like sitting at the end of the table, kind of twitches, and the lights flicker again, and he twitches again until he's slowly like turning, and he's looking at Kato, and the only lights on the machine still on are the little light bulbs in his eyes, and he's watching, and then as Kato starts to leave, the thing is going to turn on again for half a second, and the little Happy Jack animatronic is going to issue a very drawn out, very creepy laugh, and then it goes quiet once Kato leaves.
So I did it a little backwards, but that's all right. We can recover.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You're perfectly. That was going to happen anyway. That was absolutely still going to happen. I had that part right. This condition you take, Kato, is somebody's watching me. But also, as you kind of walk away frustrated from this frozen Zagreus machine, you stumble on a blank Odyssey tape. You can add it to your corner of the house or give it to another latchkey. This blank tape can be marked to get an automatic 12 plus. So while you have the condition somebody's watching me, you are aware of the presence of the Great Hungers now, Kato, and you have a vague feeling of being watched always.
Awesome.
Oh fuck! You can't clear it till after Bone Wolves.
Uh-huh.
Oops. Alrighty. Let's cut over to Isabo. Isabo, Declan has popped it open. Oh, I owe you a clue, Declan. I think as you pop open the door, Declan, a postcard falls out. It's the original Greetings Travelers postcard, uh, with the image glue sticked into place. Like this is the OG one they photocopied. Anyways, Isabeau, what would you like to do? Are you going inside?
I don't suppose Declan has some flashlights in his truck.
I think we will say yes that there you have brought flashlights.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Isabel will just step into the doorframe and just flick the flashlight around to see what's inside before fully entering the room.
So the first the ground level is very Cold War bunker style with all the weird readouts and such, and then there is a ladder that descends down into the silo.
Holding.
If you shine your flashlight down, you see there is a door at the bottom that leads deeper in.
Well,
I would tell you right away. It also looks like this is, this one is not locked.
Well, should we?
I mean, we came all the way out here. It seems like kind of a waste to turn around and go back now.
Remind me to get a tetanus shot when we get back into town.
First or second? I'll hand Isabeau the one pair of work gloves from the toolbox.
What?
Do you want to go down first, or do you want to go down second?
Oh, well, I'll shine the light down on you. If you want to go down first.
Alright. Declan is going to clamber down.
Hey.
And then I'll shine the flashlight up. Like, I'll stand off to the side, so I'm not shining it on her back, which is just going to cast more shadow.
Yeah. Sure, Isabel will follow him down.
Right. You both stand in front of a door. It's not, there's no, like, peep window or anything. It is solid, steel.
Well, let's get this open.
All right. The second you open this door, your noses are affronted with the scent of decay. Old decay. Inside this small room, you see, tied to a chair with padlock chains, the slumped body of a young man, desiccated and shrunken. It's been here a very long time. There's a complex pattern of salt surrounding the chair he's been tied to, and poured into strange, compelling shapes. There's an observation booth that has utilitarian furniture, dated equipment, and you don't like this, a VCR and a monitor. Let us paint the scene. What signs indicate that this site has been visited recently?
There are some cobwebs and dust, just sort of like giving everything a thin cover, but there are footprints in the dust and handprints and places where the cobwebs have been brushed away, and they have not had time to reform.
There's a small cooler, like a camping cooler, that still has like the stickers, the decals from the store on it, and everything like that. Looks like it was just recently purchased. That has some beverages in it. sitting in the observation room.
I think that there is a cabinet behind the body that has, it's like full of those novelty wizard hats, and the there's also just a padlock and chains on the floor around that cabinet, suggesting that someone has opened it and just not bothered to rechain it.
All right. Isabeau and Declan, how is staring at this corpse feeling for you both?
Incredibly unsettling.
I'm going to ask for the day move from Isabeau then. I think this will be composure. What conditions is Isabeau rocking? Mark my happy jack and what the chuck? I don't think either apply here, so go ahead and roll up. What are you? I was gonna ask what are you afraid is gonna happen if you fail, but that is not a failure decidedly.
Just for the record, Isabeau's great fear would be that she just horks, and makes the scene that much more complicated to navigate, because now there's hork everywhere.
All right. So you do not work, apparently. You can tell us how Isabeau manages to swallow said vomit and or what she does to handle this wonderful scene in front of her.
She just like has that initial like reaction, and just is like, nope, can't do it, closed area, can't do it. And probably goes for one of the beverages in the cooler and takes a big swig.
All right, you walk over to the cooler. Declan, it looks for you like to a moment that like the corpse twitches. There's no way this thing has any amount of juice in it left, but you swear you see it move. It looks like the head turns just a little bit towards Isabeau's direction as she goes towards the cooler.
I would like to check to make sure that the salt and everything like that looks undisturbed.
Okay, give me the meddling move.
Alrighty.
That sounds like reason.
Sensitivity.
Actually, no, sorry. That sounds like sensitivity.
Okay.
Nice.
God damn, rolls are good tonight, apparently.
Oh, I should.
It's gonna suck when the dice karma kicks in.
Meddling move doesn't need you to say what you're worried about's gonna happen.
Gotcha,
You're just
gotcha.
meddling. Alright, so you're gonna get a 2 for this. You see on top of one of the weird like domes of salt, because it's not just a salt circle, they're also shapes. Sitting on the top of one of the domes is a metal 20-sided die. Red numbers stamped on the black. The 20, which is facing up, is a nuclear cloud. As you go to grab this clue of yours, or at least examine it closer, you notice the shape of a face right in front of yours, just on the inside of the salt circle. It bears a vague resemblance to the corpse. It is not the corpse. It is, you can see through this specter or whatever it is. And it speaks to you, Declan. Are you the one that's coming to replace me?
Can Isabeau hear this, or is this only in Declan's mind?
You hear the voice, yeah. You hear the voice. If you look away from the cooler, you will see what Declan sees.
What the fuck?
No, I don't think I am. What exactly do you need to be replaced for?
The magic's gotten weak, so they need someone new, and I just want to rest. Are you
Who's
trying to
they?
stop them? Oh, let's. I'm torn between the meddling move and the day move here to get information out of him. Um, let's call it the meddling move with presence, though.
Okay. Meddling move, presence.
Oh no.
That's a 4.
It sure is a 4. All right, we're gonna get back to the consequences of that roll. Kato, what are you doing now that you have been foiled in your attempts to unlock the secret levels of Zagreus?
Well, she fishes that Barker coin back out with the piece of string that she tied around it.
Or she did.
And sort of looks around, making sure that FG isn't staring at her because she definitely feels like something is.
FG has. I mean, there is still other people in the. It's much like lighter crowd than normal, but there are still people, and so he's just wandering about doing his thing. But you do definitely still feel watched, of course.
Huh. Don't like that. Fuck it. And she's gonna go out and try and find that entrance into those tunnels because that seems like a fun, just like I don't know, do some urban exploration. Be in a place that she knows there are not people to be looking at her.
That sounds good to me. You hop into the tunnels. I presume that Lottie told you where the entrance was, so that's a non-issue. All right, it is Labyrinthine Tunnel Network. Oh, I have an important question. What's Kato using as a light source?
That's a great question, in fact. Probably her lighter since she smokes.
Okay, it is piss poor lighting in here. These tunnels have not been maintained, but they are still sturdy. Like there's no worry of collapse, so you think. Go ahead and give me the medley move, Kato. I think probably reason or composure.
Composure. Is this at advantage or at disadvantage for condition reasons?
I think because of somebody watching me 100%.
I thought so. All right. Oops, I clicked cancel instead of roll. Good job. What? Input that. Stop that. Cool. 9.
All right. All right, so your clue. I think you stumble onto what looks to be a map of Deep Lake. But there's been exit marks put over random locations all over the area. And you see the initials DH on it. I think what the complication will be is that you hear footsteps in the tunnels with you. We'll start there.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Keep that one.
Right. Let's see. But so in your explorations, Kato, what's What's Kato trying to find exactly?
I think at this point she's trying to figure out who else could possibly be down here. So she's looking for the source of the footsteps.
Okay, I like it. I think
So,
it's
like she's
very...
like calling out, like, "Hello? Is there anyone else in this spooky tunnel?"
You hear a gruff voice respond. Who's that?
Your mom? Who's that? I don't know. You tell me.
The footsteps start approaching you, Kato.
I mean, yeah, she'll wait for him to show up.
Okay. A man. So he steps into your shittily lit area. He's got a thick, bushy beard with streaks of gray. It looks like he's wearing a shirt for a band called Karen and the Psychopomps. I'm just gonna wager that Kato has heard of them. Just judging on taste in music. It's like, what the hell are you doing down here, kid?
I mean, honestly, just kind of walking around trying to figure out what's up. I heard footsteps from presumably you, so I guess now looking for you, so I found you, I guess. Yay!
Name's Charlie. I don't suppose you got a quarter, do you?
I do, actually.
Hey
do
man,
you
you
need...
got any quarters? Sorry.
Yeah, I got a couple. I only used one. Kind of kicked the shit out of Zagreus, if I do say so myself. Except for the part where it didn't let me play the fun part.
Zagreus. He like tilts his head back, thinking.
2 X's, yeah.
You know,
Oh, I'm Kato, by the way.
Charlie.
You said.
Right. That name sounds familiar. Why do I know that name? Not Kato, Zagreus.
Well, probably because the place directly upstairs from this tunnels here has it on. It's like their main place, like display piece right now. And also is like all urban legends and shit.
Oh, that's right. I think I've seen graffiti down here like that. In fact,
Really?
I heard. In fact, I think I heard once that. Well, I heard that maybe they were moving the arcade cabinet down here, or from like that's where they brought it to.
Hell yeah! Did you show me?
You make it worth my while, I suppose.
She just kind of raises her eyebrow and
he
pulls out.
holds-
She holds out like a clove, and then on no response, just kind of holds out a single quarter.
You know, he'll take both clove and porter, actually.
Excellent. I've
It's
got
like, all right,
these. Is that worth your while?
sure. I can play tour guide for a little bit.
Sick.
Let me
This is great. This man, I haven't talked to a friendly homeless person in like years. They just aren't in vigilance, you know?
well, I suppose you have to know how to speak our language, or
No, there's just like no homeless people there. It's really weird considering the economy's such shit in that small town. I don't know where they all go.
that fucking lore dropping. He's like, all right, I'll take you to where I think I remember hearing about that stuff and some weird graffiti, and he'll lead you deeper into the tunnels.
Hell yeah. So I do have, they think he's a righteous dude, and since this is apparently a place that that is occupied by losers and social outcasts, and I made a meddling move here, I think I get an additional clue.
All right, let's tee that up. I will cut over to Declan and Isabeau dealing with Ghosty Boy while I figure out which clue to give you. I think we'll have Charlie be the one give it to you, actually. That makes sense. Anyways, so Isabeau, Declan.
I rolled super well, and everything was going perfectly smoothly for us. Swimmingly.
Yeah.
The ghost's eyes, question mark, narrow at you. It's like, no. You're trying to stop them, aren't you? I can smell it on you. You're not here to help me.
I don't even know who them is, or who you are. What are you here to do? What are they trying to do?
He smiles at you and says, they wanted real magic, and so they used me.
Who is they?
Oh, I think you'll see soon enough. So, the consequence here, Declan, is that you've gotten the distinct impression that whoever this is probably able to communicate with the people who put it here. Whether it wants to, willingly or not, is the other question.
So Isabeau says, okay, but magic isn't real. And
Isabeau.
she's saying this to try and bait the ghost into revealing more information.
Declan has a half a second where he does start to be like, Isabeau, like, are you serious right now? And then he's gonna...
all right. I'll give Isabeau the meddling move here with presence.
Okay, meddling with presence. And a miss.
All right. So, here's what's gonna happen. Lovely, absolute misses from two people in the bunker, or missile silo.
Wow, we both got a 3 and a 1 and a +0. So we rolled literally the exact same thing.
Beautiful, don't you love it? All those good rolls earlier. What happened? So he steps back from like the edge of the salt. He's like, "Here, I'll show you some of mine." So here's what's going to happen, Isabeau, unless you turn a key.
Okay.
The door behind you is going to slam and lock from the outside, and you will be trapped down here.
Okay. So Isabeau will turn a key.
Okay.
A flashback to when she first discovered TV Odyssey.
All right. Would you like to do that now?
Yes. Okay. So she'll say, no, look, I remember the first TV Odyssey show I ever saw. It was some sort of fortune teller. This woman wearing like gold bangles and scarves. And she promised that I could change my fate. Just with, a couple candles and some kitchen herbs. And, here's me in the trailer thinking, wow, my life sucks. Absolutely I'll try this fortune spell. And do you know what happened? Nothing.
Okay. So. I think what will happen is you'll get as your clue so many to choose from. Oh, I think on one of the piles of salt, as well as the D20 that you already found, you see a little pile of tobacco, and there's a scent to it. The complication here will be that by taking this clue, you are going to be marked by Bastion Dare.
Marked by whomst?
Bastion Dare, that is the missing kid from the original Servants and Sepulchres.
A wizard!
Certainly is a wizard. A wizard's battery, technically.
I'll take it. I'm marked by Happy Jack and Bastion Dare. Maybe I can pit them against each other.
Weird things have happened.
Isabeau Sanders Ghost Fight Club.
So yeah, Isabeau will pick up the small pile of tobacco and just, it's weird to see this unrolled. And we'll just like stuff it into a pocket or somewhere, thinking like, hey, maybe if I find a place selling, fresh, loose tobacco, that'll be another lead.
All right. So Declan, as you're watching Isabeau grab this, you see Bastion's ghost. Well, you don't know his name yet, but you see the ghost staring intently at Isabeau and seems really pleased that she picked up that tobacco.
Huh. Can I continue checking if the salt is all still in place?
Yes, so I won't make you roll for that. You've already meddled. The circle looks to be intact in whatever weird shapes the salt in looks normal. You taking the things off them doesn't seem to have... The ghost is still in the circle. Or maybe it's just letting you think that. I will ask because the ghost has kind of let slip that it has alerted you that you are here. Are you planning to stay here, or are you planning to flee?
So, earlier you said I was going to get a twofer. I found the 20-sided die, and then the ghost came to talk to me. Is the ghost
the twofer would be... So the twofer is you have unlocked another question for Green's Traveler.
Oh, I see, okay.
Yes. How can we set the ghost... How can we set the ghost free so it can pass on to the next world? This is Complexity 2, and the opportunity is perform a quieting ritual on the ghost of Bastion Dare. It no longer... It ceases to be a danger. That's the twofer.
I'm going to ask the ghost, what's your name?
Bastion.
Did the other people you were playing with put you down here?
It's not a game at all.
Why are you down here?
He kind of gestures to the whole setup here, bound to a chair, surrounded in a ritual circle.
Right, but what was the purpose for doing this to you?
I'm the conduit for their power, but my time's almost over. They need someone new. Probably one of you two, or maybe both.
Who are they?
You'll see soon.
What would happen if we just dragged you out of this circle?
I'd be free to make sure that I can get a replacement.
Alright, that sounds like a real bad idea.
What if we were able to just let you go without needing to replace you?
And I'd just go, but they're going to know you've been here. If you promise to help me be free, I won't make your lives interesting.
All right, I promise.
I'll remember that. Declan, I'd like you to also take Mark by Bastion Dare, please. His demeanor changes a bit from sinister to more neutral. And he says, I think it's probably best you leave before they arrive.
All right.
Believe me when I say they have real magic.
All right. Well, sit tight. And then I'll walk out.
Isabeau will follow.
All right. We will cut back briefly to Steph, and then we will head to break. So, Steph, Charlie leads you through the tunnels for a bit, until you get to. He takes you to where you can see like markings of where there might have been an arcade cabinet sitting here. That's weird. But it's one on the ground that you like. He almost trips over it himself as he's leading you, and he looks down. He's like, "The hell!" You see on the ground, it's a battered camcorder.
Huh. Is that the clue?
It is. There is like taped on like the bottom of it when you pick it up is the name Finn Carlson. Looks like there's still power.
You want to have a spooky movie?
Sure.
Hell yeah. Start playing whatever was last recorded.
It's very Blair Witch footage of the tunnels, like panting and nervousness and worries about being followed, and they mentioned trying to find the Vertex offices. That's weird. That will be Kato's clue. And Charlie will, as we move out of the day phase, Charlie will help you get back out of these tunnels as part of the cigarette and quarter you gave him.
Thanks, Charlie.
Before we go on our wonderful break, I will ask my players, are we watching an Odyssey tape tonight?
Yes, I haven't been involved in watching one in a long time.
All right. So we will be back in about 10-ish minutes, everyone, and then we will be watching an Odyssey tape. See you all soon. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So we have decided to watch an Odyssey tape tonight. And then that Odyssey tape is Pep 16 Frowny Emoji Final Pure White Pretext. So now I have questions for my players. What would you like to be accomplishing during this night phase, and where will you be watching said tape? Your options currently are the missile silo. You have discovered a VCR and monitor there. There's, of course, your house on Renbecker Street. The house on Escondido Street is still an option. The TV and VCR still work there. And I think that's it, really.
Isabeau does not want to watch a tape in the same room as the creepy, mostly dead body.
Fair.
Understandable. You know, I get it.
That's what I was going to suggest.
I mean, Kato would do it. But she understands why it would be a bit of a sticking point.
Right? You got to get over those things. Yeah, exactly. So we're just going to watch it on Rodenbecker Street?
Yeah, that's fine by me.
That works.
Where's Casey, by the way?
So I think based on what the fiction earlier, Cassie is watching the kids tonight instead. So I imagine Casey's getting dicked down right now by Lottie's brother.
Yeah.
All right. So the magic dick is going to Casey. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry, Isabeau.
This one's my fault, y'all. Sorry.
It's good times.
All right.
We had fun here.
As usual, gonna make sure that the kids are off, away from whatever room we're watching the Odyssey tape in.
Okay.
But
I think
as for what I want to accomplish tonight, I would like to see if I can find anything out about Sebastian Dare. Like
Okay.
missing persons reports, like anything like that would be great.
that sounds good to me. What about Isabeau?
I am not sure. I feel like she's had 2 very traumatic days and just wants to decompress.
Okay. Kato, what do you want to? I feel like you're full on conditions right now.
Almost.
No, not you, Kato. I was including you in this because I was going to suggest nostalgic move during the night phase because Isabeau is full up on conditions and you are at 2 of 3.
Yeah.
If that sounds good to you too.
I don't... Have Kato and Isabeau even had a nostalgic move together yet?
I don't think so. Also.
I mean, yeah, this sounds great.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if Kato and Declan have either. Not that that's relevant to the moment. It just
Wait,
that brought
has
up the question
Kato
of
had a nostalgic move? I think she's been clearing conditions by fictional circumstance.
I feel like you had I don't know.
You've had at least one with Lottie.
I think that's got to be right.
Yeah, I think so.
That's crazy. How the fuck did I manage that?
Well done. Turning all those keys, I presume, is how you manage that.
You know what? Probably.
I would say that probably is the balance. Like, why have I had so few nostalgia moves? Oh, I've turned a fuck ton of keys.
Because I'm almost dead.
All right.
How many keys do you have unturned, if I may ask?
2 if you don't count the one that kills you.
Okay, I still have 5. So, all right,
Yeah, great times.
good times.
Yeah, so some of like the keys are pretty spread out so far in terms of how many people have left.
Yeah.
All right. So, Ben, would you mind leading us off with the first tape prompt? We put the tape in. We press play.
Absolutely.
Let me start first. I'll read the intro and then you go ahead. This is the final episode of Pep Talk, a call-in show aimed at Nagoya County teens that aired every Friday night. While kids called the show for advice or to simply vent, Pep Talk and its host, high school senior Pepper Daniels, were also often the target of prank calls and harassment. Now it is all yours.
One of the first calls of the night is from an anonymous student at La Fresca High. What is the teenager's problem, and how does Pepper's response hint at her own youthful experience? So the call connects, and Pepper says, "This is Pepper Daniels with Pep Talk. How can I help?" And you hear a voice. Everyone hears a voice that is oddly familiar, but very considerably younger than we're used to. And it's a young man who says, "Yeah, I'm just like, I'm calling because I feel like I constantly, I don't have any time for myself, between school and housework and my younger brothers and sister, like I'm always busy. I never have any, and just feel like I'm going crazy sometimes, and I can't get my parents to actually, you know, stop and listen to me and hear what I'm trying to say." Pepper says, "Yeah, that's really hard, but you know what? You're a really good brother and you're a really good son. And it's great that you're doing all these things for them, and you're that's what good brothers do. So just know that your parents love you, your brothers and your sister love you, and just keep doing what you're doing." And there's no response from the call. It just disconnects.
Isabeau will sort of lean from her spot on the couch and look at Declan and then say, "We're going to the spa tomorrow." My treat.
Declan,
My treat. Clear your schedule.
Declan is Declan is many bites into a bowl of cereal and ice cream after that. Drea, God,
Shreya, Jesus Christ.
Drea.
Uh, So, speaking of Declan, you wanted to look into Bastion Dare, so I'm going to give you some stuff up front. Um, so the secret. So you already know this from the mystery being dropped at your doorstep in the first place. The reason the old Serpents and Spulkers games ended is because of the disappearance of Bastion Dare.
Oh.
The police were looking for him and on the nightly news. It was a big deal in the area. He was never found until now.
Oh, that's right. His name is right in the mystery. For some reason, I was. Who did we think it was? Why did I think it was a young woman that was missing?
There is another missing person, Emilio Cavillo.
Oh, that's right.
Cavillo.
She's the one who went missing recently, right?
Yes,
Because I found a miniature of her as her character in the box of cereal.
correct.
That's why I was thinking of her, and I forgot about Bastion
Yes.
in the original. Okay. Okay.
But if you'd like to dig deeper,
I
or if you
would,
want to,
yes.
or if you want to dig on Amelia instead, that's also valid. I'll leave it up to you.
I think what I would like to do is I'd like to see if there are any similarities between the two, other than just the fact that they played Serpents and Sepulchres.
Okay. So I suppose the other common factor is that they both snuck out to presumably go play these secret games. You did get in the intro to the mystery that there was a flyer with a local phone number, and the today's date, it's no longer that date anymore, and turn undead, in quotes. As far as the circumstances of Bastion's disappearance, we'll say probably all identical in the fact that like he snuck out alone to go play said game, presumably, and then just never came back. However, you've been to, I guess, where Bastion went, and you did not see Amelia there, so you can kind of make the logical jump that she hasn't been taken and done anything to her yet.
Are there any overlaps in like acquaintances or friends or social circle or anything like that?
All right, I'll make that the meddling move. That sounds good to me. Will that'll be with reason. Do you have any? You are marked by Bastion, but he wants you to help him, so I don't know. I'm going to give you disadvantage for that.
I think that like I'm gonna pull up computer like it's 2004. Do we have laptops? I'm gonna settle at at one of the computers in the house. Notebook, bowl of cereal with ice cream, and I'm actually gonna get the kids. I'm gonna be like, I want you guys to help me out. Like I'm gonna give one notebook to wow, I've forgotten their names.
Abigail and Elliot.
Thank you. One to Abigail, one to Elliot, a pen each, and we'd be like, okay. So I want Abigail, you write down anything that I tell you to write down about Amelia, and then Elliot, I want you to write down anything I tell you about Bastion. And basically, I'm gonna enlist them to kind of like take notes as I go through, and I like, have thoughts, yada 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 yada. And I'm gonna be like, we're gonna find out what these two people have in common, where Amelia is, and who Bastion was going to meet when he disappeared. I'm not going to mention who locked him in the bottom of a silo and to the kids. But I
mean, these kids have seen some shit already. It probably would have been fine, but I get it.
Yeah. And I'm basically I am exuding like take charge confidence with this, and I would like to use my what was it? What Nintendo?
Nintendo to get an automatic 12 plus.
Yeah, what Nintendo on this to not have to make the roll.
I will point out the custom thing I did for Abigail as well, is if you consult her for anything involving photography or videography, I don't know if you have any clues that can tie into that, but she will get you an additional clue automatically in those scenarios. But I'm not sure if it'll apply here. Let me check your mystery tab. See what kind of clues you got already.
Well, there's the one about the advertisement in an Odyssey tape case for a video-guided home game of SNS. So, like, maybe she can offer some insight with that. That's the only thing I can think of that might apply.
Yeah, I think we're gonna probably rule that like you're just gonna get your 12 plus, so which is 2 clues anyway.
I'm fine with that.
Or it's going to be probably an Odyssey tape actually. That'll be fun. All right, so you have taken that. Let's cut downstairs. Isabeau and Kato, you are tapes paused. You are together in the living room. The scene is yours.
So I saw a ghost today.
That's crazy, because I feel like I see one every time I look at you. I still don't really know who you are.
I'm your housemate?
I mean, I know that much now, but like, I don't know. It feels like I should probably know more about you than you're the not ghost that showed up and lives with me now. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Like, you know a lot about me, and that feels weird for me because I don't know shit about you.
Okay. What do you want to know?
Do you have like hobbies?
Wow. Not really. I studied a lot in college, and I went from college to law school to a really stressful job that didn't really leave a lot of time for hobbies.
Huh. That sucks. You didn't even have like nothing, I don't know, quick and easy in between. Like, I don't know. I remember seeing a couple of these pep talk episodes a few times growing up. Not this one,
I
but
mean,
there were always like all kinds of prank calls and shit. Did you ever call in?
to this? No, I actually felt kind of bad for her. Like, she was just out there doing her best and, didn't deserve half of what she got. But, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I went camping once or twice, and that was fun, and went on a field trip once or twice. That was fun. But, I mean, my family didn't have a whole lot of money growing up, so even if I
I get
wanted
that.
to get into dance or I don't know, croquet, there really wasn't the money for it.
I get that. I ended up running the family copy of Monty Python and the Holy Grail through on VHS. I didn't really have much to do growing up till I met Cassie. So I just sort of ended up being watching Monty Python and eating popcorn every night for most nights.
Yeah, I know what that's like. But yeah,
I'd like to say that I'll never forget what the air velocity of an unladen African swallow is, but honestly, I couldn't tell you if you held a gun to my head.
I don't think do they even answer that question in the movie? I don't think they do.
I think it's like a callback joke. So like the guy asks it, and then because they have more information than what the guy asked, he's like, "Oh, well, is it like an African swallow or an English one?" And he's like, "I don't fucking know." And so then the bridge guy gets flung into the stratosphere. I don't know. I
Yeah.
always just liked when he asked people what their favorite color is because it makes a funny voice when he does it.
I mean, they're British. All their voices are funny.
That's true. That's probably part of why I liked it so much.
All right. The tape. Press play on the tape again. Steph, go ahead.
Do we want to check in on the nostalgic move first?
Oh yes, please. Sorry, I completely forgot. So I think. Oh, okay. Dude, Steph, I don't know which one you're gonna be able to. You can't resolve either.
I can't clear either of them. I was not going. I went into this knowing that I was keeping both. Don't worry.
Yeah. Cool. I think. Probably what the Chuck for Isabeau, just because you have learned that he has fully forgotten you and has an entirely different life now. Not in the context of this nostalgic scene, but it has happened fictionally.
Actually, I think that one got cleared last session.
Did it?
I feel like I remember that happening.
I mean, that would make sense given context.
That's fine.
We talked about it, but even though Chuck doesn't know Isabeau, Isabeau still has all of her memories.
That's right. Yeah, but I think we just like it was kind of like during the course of that scene or a scene last week or week before. My memory is Swiss cheese. Isabeau has realized that Chuck has forgotten about her and has a whole new life, and I kind of presume has come to terms with what the Chromatic Desert has done to her.
I mean, that is sort of why she propositioned Declan.
Yeah, alright, so yeah, I'm good with you clearing what the Chuck.
Okay.
Wow, so Declan's just a target of opportunity.
Rebound.
Wow.
Rebound!
I mean, she wasn't proposing, she was propositioning.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead. I wasn't going to say anything, but I'm just going to throw in that not only has Chuck like completely forgotten her and like developed his own like, whatever, but also he's thriving in that relationship, and so is his partner. Like Casey is just doing really well because Chuck is so supportive. So
Yeah,
all of Isabeau's concerns and worries and whatnot were completely.
I will maintain that they
remind
were, because all of this is happening here in Deep Lake. So like
Yeah,
if
But
if
we
Chuck
established that
was
their relationship has been going on since high school, and that they have been fulfilled and happy, both professionally and personally.
yes, you would have a point. If Chuck was willing to relocate.
All right. I believe. I mean, you technically both kind of initiated. I think since Steph is not able to clear a condition on Kato, Kato can define the clue. I think seems fair.
I was waxing nostalgic.
All right then, fine. Isabo can find the clue. I was trying to give you something
I was just
for this
saying.
move. Apparently, you don't want it.
Hey,
Don't take it.
I've got the truth is out there. I'll be fine.
All right, fair enough. Isabo, you can go ahead and define a clue if you'd like.
A clue for which?
Whatever.
Anything you want. I will let you think about that as we move into the next Odyssey prompt.
What was the clue for my thing? My meddling move?
I will be giving that to you after this prompt. Yeah.
Gotcha, sorry.
No worries.
Shall I start then?
Please and thank you.
Excellent. Pep Talk is eventually overwhelmed by prank callers that mercilessly taunt the show's host in cruel and vulgar ways. How do we see Pepper struggle to maintain her facade of composure? We see that as the nights go on and calls are mixed with genuine calls, pleas for help and advice, and people just taking the absolute piss out of the whole production. And eventually, as the tape's going on, one of the voices that comes on over the tape causes Kato to physically cringe, and we hear Bianca calling in to Pep Talk, and as soon as Pepper starts introducing herself, "Hi, this is Pepper, what are you?" She immediately just starts bombarding her with just single phrases of things that, because, you know, they've gone to school together their whole lives, she just starts bombarding single phrases that she remembers, that she knows Pep remembers, of things that she like minor social faux pas and shit like that. And we can hear Bianca giggling in between each one, as well as a group of people. And Pep is just kind of sitting there stoically, taking it all face value, nodding, until we hear a younger Kato say, "Hey, cut it out. Give me that." And the phone call ends, to which Pep very clearly lets out a huge sigh of relief.
All right, tape pauses. Declan, so the kids are helping you with your little sleuthing here. And I think as you put together the various pieces from like articles you're pulling from the internet, and you're just kind of just word vomiting at the kids right now, and they hand you the notebook papers. They have very clearly not been fully paying attention the entire time. They are children after all, so there's doodles and stuff. But you notice right away that the doodles are not random. They both have doodled I just had they've both doodled like pointed ears that you put on, the latex ears, and long wigs. And as you look back at your sleuthing, you realize that you've mentioned that they've both purchased those things, both Bastion and Amelia, recently. That is your clue.
Latex ears and long wigs?
Yeah.
It's worse. They weren't just playing D&D, they were LARPing. A bunch of fucking nerds.
Yeah, no one in this chat right here currently has LARPed.
No, not extensively by any means. Certainly not to the point where their entire social circle and free time was subsumed by LARPing for a stretch of their lives.
I certainly wasn't at a wedding recently full of LARPers.
I certainly was not invited to a wedding full of LARPers that I was incredibly disappointed to not be able to attend.
Are y'all talking about me?
Yes.
Well, I mean, kind of all of us, yes.
So yeah, and ourselves, because yes, most of my friend circle was LARPers for a very long time.
Yeah.
Still kind of is.
I'm not, but my girlfriend is.
Of course. There's always one.
She has a tattoo about it. It's great.
Oh no.
What's the tattoo?
Her healing spell.
That's
She's a
kinda
cleric.
cool.
It's pretty badass, actually.
Please tell me it's on her heel.
No, it's on her huge fucking bicep because she's massive. God,
Missed
I'm lucky.
opportunity, but you said I was also going to get an Odyssey tape from this. Is that correct? Because it was a 12
Yes,
plus.
so you hear a loud scream noise from Kato's bedroom where Cassie has been staying tonight. The door flings open, and you hear the thudding of footsteps rushing downstairs. Declan.
From Cassie's bedroom?
Not Cassie's. It is Kato's bedroom, but Cassie is in it currently.
Oh.
Oh yeah, Cassie's bedroom.
It's Cassie's bedroom, yeah.
I'm gonna go check what's going on.
So you see a blur of Cassie heading downstairs to go, presumably talk to Kato, holding a purple clamshell in her hand.
Hey, whoa, what's going on?
She stops like, this just dropped into my lap from nowhere.
Huh?
What were you doing when it happened?
I was just reading.
What were you reading?
Brain, make a book up. Let's go.
I mean, you just gave some of her Takes Me Back.
Oh, that's true. I did. I guess I don't know if there's any fictionalized like stuff book-wise.
Laura Palmer, Who Killed Laura Palmer, Artax in the Swamp of Sadness, and record stores.
Never
if any
story.
of those help.
The novelization of the Never-Ending Story.
Oh, fucking duh! Yeah, the Never-Ending Story. My brain got fixated on. Did anyone ever fictionalize Twin Peaks? Like, God, I hope not. I hope no one wrote fiction of it. That isn't David Lynch.
David Lynch is just in his basement writing fanfic for his own stuff.
All right, that weirdo would do that. He absolutely would do that. Anyways, so yes, she's like, yeah, the Never-Ending Story. Why?
Yeah, just around here, reading the wrong things can be weird. Do you mind if I take a look?
Holy shit, okay, sorry. Thank you, Retrofit. Apparently, there is the diary of Laura Palmer that David Lynch's daughter wrote.
Oh, that's awesome.
You learn something new every day, kids.
That's awesome. Quick confession, I've actually never seen Twin Peaks.
I need to rewatch it. It's been probably 20 years. Maybe not
They're
that long,
obsessed
like
about
15.
it, so I vehemently avoided it.
So yeah, do you mind if I take a look?
Sure, yeah. She's like, I want nothing to do with this. And hands it over. This tape is. Da, da, da. I should have prepared this in advance. Oh, we'll call this Affirmations 4.
Look, Cassie, I realized that the last time you and I really interacted, I was not very nice about it. I was very critical of. You have to forgive me for saying it like this. Whatever the fuck it is going on between you and Kato, like that was nothing personal towards you. More so that I strongly disagree with the idea of drawing anybody into all this that doesn't need to be. And I feel like Kato's doing you a disservice by putting you in danger. So that's where my reaction was coming from. It wasn't directed at you specifically, but I apologize for the way I handled it.
So you watch Cassie's face go to like, oh, we're about to have a moment, to rage face when you say that last bit. I think I'm gonna ask for. It's not gonna be night move. She's not gonna do anything really awful to you. We'll call it the day move. Um, I need you to give me the day move with presence to not have Cassie just absolutely lose her shit on you.
Wow, I am rolling
Oh
fours tonight.
no! It's to make up for all the
Alright.
success earlier.
We will get to the consequences of those after the next tape wrap. But first, let's go to Isabeau Kato.
Am I allowed to turn keys for those? Because I wasn't given the opportunity the last time I rolled a 4, and so I wasn't sure if that was something that.
You could, yes.
Okay,
You,
alright.
you absolutely can. I will narrate it as it happens, and then if you'd like to turn a key, you may.
Sounds good.
You take Lich's revenge. Kato and Isabeau, I think you probably hear like the vagueness of the conversation because this probably takes place like on the stairs. It's not downstairs yet.
Kato was immediately going to go up and see, like, why is she screaming? And then, okay, well, I guess she's handling it. And it just sits back down, kind of very pointedly not acknowledging what just played on the tape.
Isabeau, did you think of a clue also?
Yeah. So, I think part of why the tape pauses is because there's an interruption for a public service announcement. It is that Bastian Dare has gone missing, and if you have any clues as to his whereabouts, call this phone number.
See, so it's an old PSA that's playing.
Yes.
Okay.
But Isabeau will take the time to pause the tape and scribble the number down and make sure to call it tomorrow to see who might or might not pick up.
Is it the same number as the one on the flyer? That'd be fucked up if it was.
I feel like it should be different.
Yeah, we'll call it a different number. 420 69 69.
Hell yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
And I do have my Truth is Out There clue ready.
Oh, please go ahead.
So I think as Kato sits back down after realizing like it's handled, she kind of jumps a little bit as she kind of then sits back up or stands back up and looks down, and there is a sort of like very chunky brick shaped device that is it has the words code breaker written on the back of it, and there is on the screen over top a, like, you know how when you have something on a TV for too long and that if you turn it off the image is still burned on there? It has an image burn of the title screen of Zagreus and 1337 as the code.
Sweet.
Yeah, it couldn't not be.
All right, cool. I like it. All right, let us have our third tape prompt then, and then we will deal with the results of Declan's roll.
Alright, another caller rings into pep talk, but this one sounds older. Far too old to be seeking the advice of a teenage girl. What does the caller say to put Pepper on edge, and how do we see her facade finally crumble? So, it's a woman's voice who calls, and it's a little distorted. They didn't really have like vocoders back in this time, but it sounds like someone might have put like a paper bag or something over the phone. So they're still coming through, but it's hard to really pick up the tone and timbre of their voice. And so the caller says that she's having a problem with her sister. and that her sister keeps doing this or that, and she's just being really obnoxious and self-centered. And, stressing their parents out. How do I help? And so Pepper keeps trying to give advice. But then the caller keeps adding in more and more detail. Until it becomes clear that the caller knows Pepper. She keeps making vague allusions to things that only a close family member would know. And Pepper realizes that her own big sister is in on it, is in on the harassment and the bullying. And immediately calls for a break, and you can tell that she's got to go off camera to maybe have a good cry. Your mouth moved, Aaron, but we didn't pick up any noise.
I was muted. Sorry. So we press pause on the tape. Declan, here's what's happening. Cassie hears you say that Kato's doing a disservice. She says, fucking excuse me? No. I don't know if you apparently don't know shit about me and Kato. We go way the fuck back, and I don't even know who the fuck you are. You're gonna come here and tell me what, no, you don't know fuck all about what we've been through together. And she's going to attempt to shove you down the stairs.
Oh,
unless
shit.
you like kind of game.
Ben.
I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
You do have, I will say, besides your own keys, there is the key for Greetings Traveler, which you are currently actively investigating, which is Brain.
The key of dungeoneering.
Yes.
That's what I was looking for. There we go.
Yes, it is.
Each latch key narrates a flat. Oh, sorry. Did you want?
No,
I just started. Okay.
No, I got it.
Cool. I don't have to say shit.
So each latchkey narrates a flashback to their childhood, showing a dangerous activity they engaged in and hoped their parents would never hear about. Sure. Let's do that one.
All right. So we rewind. She does still snap at you a little bit, but does not try to shove you down the stairs. Kato and Isabeau, you will hear this yelling.
I'm gonna let her yell. I'm gonna say, "Do you feel better having gotten that out?"
Yeah.
Good. Look, I'm not here trying to talk shit about Kato. I'm not trying to talk shit about anybody. I'm just looking at the reality. Okay? People don't always make good decisions when they are, I don't know, hormonal or emotional or otherwise distracted. Okay? That goes for you, it goes for Kato, it goes for Isabeau, it goes for me, it goes for everybody. We're not exactly dealing with, some shitty person at work here. We're dealing with people going missing under horrible circumstances. And completely unexpectedly, I have 2 actual children to look out for. And I've got Isabeau and Lottie and Kato, and now you. This is as much a self-preservation thing as it is being worried about you or Kato. I don't know if I have it in me to watch you get who knows what. Because you and Kato finally got back together and rekindled whatever the hell it is you have. That's not me trying to dismiss or disparage whatever it is the two of you have going on. I'm just trying to be as honest as I possibly can in that we can't afford that shit getting in the way of what's going on here. If you don't want to think about it for your sake, fine. If you don't want to think about it for Kato's sake, fine. How about thinking about it for my sake and Isabeau and Lottie and those two kids sitting in that fucking room who've already been through plenty? You can be pissed off at me all you want, but at least think about it.
She's like, look, I kind of get it. I had to talk to Kato about something similar. I mean, she drove us out into the desert on her motorcycle. Well, sorry, no, something else drove us out into the desert on her motorcycle, and she just went with it. So we had to have a talk about that.
Well, I'm glad that you both made it back here. But this is exactly what I'm talking about.
She's not going to do stuff like that anymore. She promised me.
And I think then Kato walks up the stairs like, hey, I heard yelling. Is everything all right?
Oh yeah, just me giving my patented brand of relationship advice.
Cool.
We were just talking about... No, go ahead. Sorry.
Didn't really connect those dots until about 2 seconds after the fact. I hope I'm not in trouble again.
Yeah. She smiles at you like, you know you're not. She said something dumb and I snapped at him.
I said something, I think, very pertinent in a dumb way.
Fine. We'll say that.
Just
Anyways,
remember, you're not the only two people here, I guess is my point.
Yeah. No, I get that. I've been
Involved in your own stuff pretty much since day one? Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And have started climbing back out of it, maybe. Finally.
Good. Just
I
in
don't
time.
know the context of what conversation just went down, but I can kind of pick up based on this very small one. And yeah, I'm not a good person. I can admit that.
We can have our existential crises later. I'm going to toss the Odyssey tape down the stairs at Kato, and I'm going to turn back and go back into. I'm not interested in any of that stuff.
Cassie kind of watches him go and looks back to Kato like, what?
I don't know. He was in a place that like he's going through some shit right now. I think
Okay.
even I can pick up on that.
Yeah, all right. Well,
It was
anyways,
a really
that
rough phone call the other night. I don't necessarily want to go into that because it's not my place to share, but it was pretty bad. So I'm trying not to be too upset with him if he lashed out.
no, he just kind of said that you're doing me a disservice by dragging me into this. And it pissed me
Oh
off.
God,
Like,
thank fuck someone finally said it. I've been trying to figure out how to approach that. I feel so bad about getting you involved in all this shit. Holy fuck.
you know this stuff was happening around me already, right?
Yeah, but now there's black hole monsters that you didn't know about until now, or not now, but earlier, and stuff. And like, I don't know, maybe they wouldn't. I don't know what's going on either, but I feel bad about it.
That statement is gonna get Declan's attention. His head's gonna poke back out the door, like down the hallway, and he's black hole monsters.
I think this is a great opportunity for me to go on the Key of Dungeoneering, actually.
right.
Yeah, so I don't know if I kind of got a. There was a time a long time ago I was out late trying to sneak back into my house, and I got abducted by a cryptid or something, and it flew me into a black hole, and I was in a coma for like a month afterwards. Um, but like for weeks after that,
Are you,
I
are you talking about the Deep Lake Devils?
God, I fucking hope not. But it's kind of looking like that. Yeah. Um, they have these like cage ribs and they grab you and shove you in there and then fly around and I don't know what the fuck it was out about. And yeah, it picked me up and it flew me into a fucking black hole. It was bad. For weeks after when I woke up, I was sneaking out in the dead of night trying to figure out just what the hell was going on. I manipulated all the security cameras and shit that my mom had put in the house to keep me from getting out. And well, also keep my dad in line if he tried to show back up after that divorce happened. But that's beside the point. That happened while I was in the hospital, I think. I wanted. I learned the ins and outs of the cameras. I found the code for the door alarm every week when they changed it. And I was always back home within like an hour or two. You know, I took a baseball bat with me, an aluminum bat, but I took the Talon, and she kind of pulls this giant maroon Talon that is cut off halfway, but it's clear that if it wasn't like broken, it would be easily like as long as a human's torso. And she says, I would take this and I would kind of try to use it like a dowsing rod. And I'd take my aluminum bat and I had a flare gun that, you know, was in my dad's old things. He didn't bother to take it back. So I kept trying to find the place that it took me from so that then I could, I guess, interrogate it for answers or something. I never found any answers, but I kept going out every night for months until eventually I got pneumonia from it. Just being out all the time, not resting in the cold, and it would rain. Sorry.
Yeah, Cassie's fully got her head in her hand like this. Like, how are you alive?
I kind of ask myself that question a lot recently. I hadn't really given it that much thought until coming back here, but yeah, no, it's a fucking thinker.
We're gonna move the camera over to Isabeau real quick. What's Isabeau doing alone in the living room now?
Isabeau just takes one look at like, oh, that's awkward. I'm not getting involved. So I think she quietly steps out onto the patio. Door cracked so she can hear when they stop talking, but not enough that she can actually eavesdrop. And she is perfectly happy just to sit and quietly process. God damn, I got shot at yesterday and I found a dead body today, and all signs point to things are only going to get weirder.
So as you are standing out here, you hear in the distance, not too far, the flapping of wings. And as the night air blows past you, you get this distinctive smell of old bones in the air.
Fuck that, going back inside.
I'm gonna ask for the night move, I think.
Okay.
I think composure is good. What are you afraid is going to happen if you fail?
that she's going to get eaten by a monster.
I mean, actually it is worse than that, since we have established in the fiction these things don't just want to eat you; they want to turn you into them. So Isabeau, there will be a version of Isabeau that returns with something inside her skin.
Oh, fuck.
Peel that skin off. Peel that skin off.
So we will get to the consequences of that after the final prompt, shall we? If you would be so kind, Ben.
Absolutely. Let's see. The older caller rings again, but the footage of their call, the final call of the night, is warped and obscured by bursts of static. When the distortion settles, how does Pepper sign off this episode of Pep Talk, and how do we know that she has been irreparably changed? So, when the distortion settles, we see Pepper. She hasn't moved, or at least you wouldn't get the sense that she's moved through the static. But her hair is very clearly kind of tousled. She has a developing black eye, a bit of blood kind of trickling from her nose. There's a couple scratches on her face. She's very clearly been in a fight, despite the fact that there's no way that probably could have happened in those short bursts of static. You hear the other caller, her sister, on the line, and she's crying, very, very ragged, very pained, crying, and Pepper kind of looks at the camera, and she very calmly picks up the phone and picks up her end of the phone and hangs it up, and she says, "Well, sometimes you just have to fuck shit up to solve a problem." And that's where it ends.
Go, Pepper.
Go, Pepper, go, I guess. Don't you just want to go ape shit?
That is kind
of tired of being nice.
That's kind of the spirit of what I was going for, yes.
Don't you just want to go ape shit? All right, anyways, so Tave ejects itself. I'm going to go ahead and go right to the consequences of Isabeau's role. The latchkeys on the stairs, Cassie, Elliot, and Abigail hear the smash of the sliding glass door. Isabeau's scream. You all manage to make it to the kitchen in time to see one of the things Kato has just described, as it puts Isabeau's body into its chest cavity and starts to fly off. Unless Isabeau would like to turn a key.
I would
Fetal
very
position
much,
instantly.
I would very much like to turn a key. I don't have many left, though.
So I will say, since I inflicted the devil, the Deep Lake Devils on you, you can always use the mystery key from On Strange Wings, which is the key of adrenaline. Each latchkey narrates a flashback to when they took a big risk or beat the odds at the expense of someone unexpected.
That
Or you can turn it
that seems appropriate. So a time in which adrenaline took over?
Yeah, each latchkey narrates flashback when they took a big risk or beat the odds at the expense of someone unexpected.
Okay, so Isabeau remembers the times in which her drug dealer cousin would take her as a lookout for when he went to go, pick stuff up, drop money off. And there was one moment one instance in which someone decided that they were going to try and, steal from her cousin. He's got drugs, he's got money, why not take it? And so there was a big old fight, and Isabeau learned very quickly and very much on the spot how to make herself as small as possible when moving out of the way of danger. And it's sort of that memory that she draws on to fling open the back door, but not enough to let the thing into the house and scurry to safety.
Also, Isubo, you don't have to do it right this second, but Key of Engineering was also marked. I put those both in public access chat because Jane will need them next week. I believe Declan also needs to do both as well. However, with that key turned, this is what happens instead. You slam the sliding door shut, Isabeau, as this thing lands in the yard, and its eyes meet yours. It looks hungry, but it looks like it doesn't want to enter the house on Rodenbecker Street for some reason. I think the condition I'm going to give you. Oh, I think Deep Lake Deviled sounds fun instead of marked by them. Deep Lake Deviled is fun.
Okay.
So yeah, it lands briefly, eyes you, and then prepares to take off. How does Isabeau react to seeing it?
She has already been putting up curtains, thanks to Lottie's new friends. So, she will just grab cardboard or fabric or whatever is to hand and just start sealing the door with duct tape.
All right. So
That's a lot of duct tape. Are you okay?
There's something out there. There's something out there. Like, I was shot at yesterday, and there was this fucking zombie in a silo basement earlier today, and now there's a flying dinosaur in the backyard.
Oh, fuck. They're here?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they are.
Fuck.
Yeah, fuck. Fuck indeed. Help me tape up the windows.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Give me some duct tape.
I will say everyone helping with the windows does hear the whoosh of large wings as it takes off again into the night.
Fully screaming. Fully screaming.
Declan's gonna go outside to see this thing as it leaves.
Bad
Okay.
idea, bad
The
idea,
moment
bad
that door
idea.
opens, Kato is in her room, locking the door.
Oh boy. Okay, I think very much, Declan, this is going to be the night move. I kind of want to make Kato roll the night move as well, because she is absolutely scared shitless of these things. But I think for purposes of just the riskiest behavior, we're gonna make Declan do the night move here. What are you afraid is gonna happen if you fail going outside to look at this thing?
That it's gonna get into the house.
It's worse than that. It's gonna grab. Ooh. You know, it's your consequence. So it will get into the house
Cassie.
and grab.
That's
Yeah.
fucked up and evil, and I love that.
Yeah, it will get into the house and grab Cassie. Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll with. Oof. I feel like now that you know and you're dealing with a monster, sensitivity could apply, but probably composure or vital. No, I take it back. If you're going to actually try to stop it from getting into the home, that'd be vitality.
Well, so the whole purpose of me going out there was to, I wanted to see it. I wanted it to know that I saw it and that I probably have a better understanding of it and the monsters in general than everybody else here.
Sensitivity then. Yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
call it sensitivity. You have no, nothing that magical currently.
Okay. Man, once again, wow, double ones. These dice just hate me tonight.
All right. It sees you open the door and sees its opportunity and smashes in. Um, and grabs a hold of Cassie and shoves it into its chest cavity, rib cage, and prepares to leave the house with her. I will say it is still indoors, and this will have further consequences.
I don't think I'm going to turn a key.
I mean, if it's here and it has Cassie, Kato's gonna try and stab it with its own fucking rib cage.
Yeah, I figured there's gonna get another night move coming.
Yeah, you know what? Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
It's always my favorite when the complication is so juicy you gotta think about it.
I mean, this does get Cassie out of the way, so it's no longer an issue.
Maybe.
You know what? I am not going to turn a key.
All right,
Shit.
Kato, Kato and Izumo, you see all this happen. The children are screaming. Obviously, they retreat into the nearest room, which I think is Declan's, given where they were, and slam the door and start barricading it. What do Isabeau and Kato do?
Isabel will follow Kato's lead on this. This is her girlfriend.
So, I think that Kato's first immediate reaction is to collapse on the floor upon seeing this thing. But then once it, like, clearly grabs Cassie, I think something sort of breaks inside of her, and she just grabs the talon and walks determinedly toward it and is gonna just, I'm just psycho this thing with with its own rib talon.
All right. Fully the night move, of course. Vitality, I think, also, of course.
So I have this fun thing that I just got where I can mark it and get a 12 plus instantly.
Oh shit.
You sure do.
Wait, is that the same move that I have?
No,
No.
it's a blank Odyssey tape that I get for being stalked by Happy Jack.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, the move found footage gives you a blank Odyssey tape that you can mark to get a 12 plus.
Yeah, before you make the roll specifically.
But you also get stuck with the condition that you cannot clear till after Night of the Bone Wolves.
Yeah.
All right,
Cool.
so I think the added benefit here will be pretty obvious. You are going to be able to free Cassie from its chest cavity, but you tell me what that looks like.
So I think that it grabs Cassie and sort of shovels her into its chest cavity. And as it begins closing, we see Kato sprint forward, and Kato can't hear anything but the blood rushing to her head as she just dives forward, not ripping it open, but like forcing the cavity to remain open enough that she can force about half of her own torso in, and she just starts stabbing it in the chest with that talon that she has over and over again. And again, not hearing anything other than the blood rushing to her head, I think, like, eventually she just kind of grabs Cassie and pulls her out of the chest of the thing as it staggers backward, and she full on just boots it in the chest hole, both chest holes at this point, and kicks it out of the house. And she stands over it, and right before she starts stomping its head in, she says, Don't fucking touch my girl.
Is there anything Isabeau would like to do before I wrap the scene?
I suppose providing moral support.
All right.
If there's anything that she can do that would let Kato... Oh, no, Kato, is already gonna roll max, so there's no reason to try and help you roll with advantage.
Yeah, Kato has just beat the shit out of one of the Deep Lake Devils. So as we kind of fade out, I will still have everyone either just because we're close to time anyway. Save your key prompts for next week. We'll those who didn't do Dungeoneering and Adrenaline, we will do those at the start of next session. So as we pull out and fade to black, I use those words appropriately because as Kato stomps this thing to mulch, basically, it sort of dissolves into this disgusting ichor that leaves the outline of its shape in the now very dead, never going to grow again grass of your backyard. And I think that's what we'll call tonight's session. Thank you all wonderful players. I had a lot of fun. If you could just one last time tell everyone who you are, where they can find you, what you're up to, pimp yourself as much as you like, and also stars and wishes if you could.
Hi everybody, thanks very much for being here. I'm Ben Ravensdale. I was playing Declan. You can find me basically if you just Google Ravensdale Publishing. My various social media accounts will pop up that way. I think really the only streams I'm doing right now are this one and my other Thursday night streams, which is a superhero game I'm GMing. It happens just a couple hours before this starts, basically 5:30 p.m. Eastern time over on All on the Table RPGs is the channel name. So you won't see me there until the 9th of November. So just an FYI. But yeah, you can also find me All on the Table RPGs. I'm doing a superhero YouTube series there called Vigilantes Union Local 13. So those are the two places that you can find me other than here. Thanks very much for being here. Appreciate it. Oh, I'm gonna just start with my wishes. I wish I didn't have a cough, and I wish the dice weren't being such absolute assholes tonight. But hey, that's just the way it goes sometimes. Stars, I don't know. Like it's always difficult to pick one specific moment. I do like that Kato kind of recognized, like, I'm trying to get out of that whole being, too self-absorbed and focused on my own problems thing. That was a good moment, I think, for Kato. Isabeau just continues to be very entertaining to watch reacting to the crazy shit. So that's always fun. Yeah. And Aaron, I appreciate that. I appreciate that Cassie was just gonna full on push me down the stairs. Kato and Cassie are match made in heaven. I don't like you. I'm gonna push you down the stairs, which is totally reasonable. Yeah, that's it for me.
All right. Hello, I'm Rachel. I'm Stolen Fires pretty much everywhere on the internet, including here. And you should come back tomorrow where I will, hopefully, if the stars align, run Delta Green for spooky season. And then we've got Dune Season 4 starting up on November 10th, which should be exciting. And we also have Fringeworthy on Monday nights, and me streaming video when I feel like it. As far as my stars and wishes, I like that I had Isabeau decide to go investigate the silo and have this supernatural encounter that she really can't deny. And I'm looking forward to seeing how Isabel copes to understanding, oh yes, you are actually in a ghost story.
And a monster movie simultaneously.
Yes.
You were the ghost in the ghost story for a bit there too. Oh, right. That means it's my right. Hi, I'm Steph. I've been playing Kato, and I have a couple of things going on. In fact, I run a playtest session for Aaron and a couple of other people on the Gauntlet Discord of my upcoming Carve from Brindlewood game called Site 42. It's inspired and not loosely based, but heavily inspired by SCP and the video game Control. You can find that on new versions that are coming up not versions, but new sessions of that are coming out Mondays after we record them, and when my computer decides to be nice about it. There might be a link in the chat, who knows? At some point, maybe. But yeah, I'm also on the Signals from the Other Side public access actual play that is going to be picking back up this next Thursday. In fact, Thursdays are my public access days. It makes me happy. So that'll be really fun. We're getting close to the end of that one. As far as Stars and Wishes go, Star for Artax and the Stairs of Sadness. That was great. Everyone was so emotional. Why are these stairs just like that for us? It keeps happening. The stairs and the landing. It's great. That emotional shit always just happens in the front door of Rodenbecker House for some reason.
Really does.
For Ben, I really liked Declan's return to form in this session. Not necessarily return to form, but just return in general, and how very you can tell that sort of being lost in the chromatic desert and everything that's happened has sort of caused him to double down on the parentification of himself, which is a very interesting way for that to have gone. In my head, I was like, okay, so this might actually allow him to start freeing himself of that burden, considering that it doesn't necessarily exist anymore. But no, instead, to try and regain some of that sense of normalcy, it's instead imprinting and immediately parenting everyone, even more so than had already been going on. Doubling down on that aspect due to those circumstances is such an interesting decision for a character like that, and I am really excited to see where that plays out. For Isabeau, I'm so bewildered that she's managed to go this far without actually believing any of the shit that's happened. It's so crazy. I feel like there's got to be a part of her that's like, okay, maybe, just maybe. And then she's just like, no, you should be at the bottom of my bourbon bottle right now, friend. Get that voice out of here. So I'm very excited to see her start to really upfront and personal start coping with horrors. I'm so excited about it. Everyone's character arcs have been so incredible, as far as just personally and interpersonally, and I'm very stoked to see what's coming next for all of it. For Aaron, I really love I like that yeah, the devils are just those things. Fuck it. We ball. I love that. It's such a great opportunity for, because ever since I turned that original key that went into that dump, I've been like, okay, so now how do I start trying to weave that in narratively throughout the rest of Kato's character? And I hadn't really had much ideas up until recently, where I've started kind of like weaving that stuff back and forth in between her, like the threat keys specifically, and all of that. So I'm very excited to see just the cosmology of the game changing based on the characters and their perceptions and experiences in the game itself. I think that's just really neat, and I think you handle it incredibly well.
Thanks. So that leaves me. Hello, I am Aaron or Cthulhu. You can find me at Greg Cthulhu on all of the social medias. My pronouns are she, they, fae. Let's see, what am I up to? Depending on the plumber that's coming to my home tomorrow, I will hopefully be playing Delta Green. My hot water will finally be permanently fixed tomorrow, hopefully. So that's good news. Let's see. Sundays I record Left for Undead, which is a based loosely on, well, I shouldn't say it's using the rule set of Fantasy Flight's End of the World, with all of the ableist and inaccessible stuff completely thrown out. But it is an all disabled cast we record. Yeah, we wanted to. I mean, our lovely GM Knox wanted to tell a story with disabled people that would pass every level of the disabled Bechdel test. So that is a lot of fun to play in. I play a wonderful disaster named Kelsey in that. It is a blast. On Mondays, as Steph mentioned, I am playing Dr. Imogen Cerulli in Insight 42. She is morally absent weirdo. If you watched last week's episode, I'm very sorry about all the hot dog water. I ran with it real hard. I yes-anded myself straight to hell, and now I have regrets. And then Thursday here running public access. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all I'm doing? Yeah, that's all I'm doing. Hell yeah, let's go. So before I sign off with you all, technically I'm supposed to do this when I introduce the Bone Wolves next Thursday, but I kind of want to do it as a stinger, so I'm going to do it as a stinger. The big man comes to you all in a shared dream. He was impossibly tall, long-limbed and gangly. His head was engulfed by a ball of white-hot fire. He explained to you that a trio of beings called the Great Hungers are going to invade the house on Rodenbecker Street tonight in order to make you touch the pure white signal. You don't have much time to prepare a defense. With that, we'll see you all next week for Night of the Bone Wolves.